episode of the Otafest podcast. I'm Jake.
I'm Alfred.
This is Rob.
It sure is. Welcome back, Rob, for your second episode here. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks.
Our episode today is brought to you by Chinook Crafts and the Camera Store. Thank you for your sponsorship of Otafest and podcast. And we'll tell you a little bit more about them later if you somehow don't already know about them now. Mm-hmm. Alfred, you got any news for us?
Yeah, so Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo will be our next big event where you can visit us. We'll have a booth. We'll be participating in the Parade of Wonders. You can register in March with us, by the way. And we're hosting a couple panels. And so just come check us out. We've in the exhibitor hall. We've got our table there as usual. We got special promos. We got sneak peeks. So yeah, come and see us.
The panels thing is new. We haven't hosted panels.
Yeah, that's going to be a first. We've actually sort of partnered up with them to provide them with some content, and we actually also gave them some guest suggestions. As you may have noticed, that this year is a bit of a Cowboy Bebop here. So
yeah, Cowboy Bebop everywhere you look.
Please welcome local cosplayer extraordinaire Hyokin Seiso, who will be featured at Otafest. Known for her Stitch, Toothless, and Hexadecimal cosplays, she specializes in non-human body form cosplays. Please drop by and say hello. If you are a longtime member of this community, you'll know who Hyokin Seiso is. So, it's kind of our way of highlighting local talent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. In case you missed it, Otafest is now offering free Wi-Fi throughout the duration of Otafest 2019, courtesy of the Calgary TELUS Convention Center.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. No, we actually are providing Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. Stay connected with your friends, social media, and our online platforms through the convention weekend with ease. More details at otafest.com/Wi-Fi.
Which also is one of my favorite announcement pages we've ever made.
Yeah, it's there unfortunately will not be dogs in costumes at the convention.
We don't know that yet.
We don't know that yet, actually. That's there might be. There won't be they won't be Otafest sponsored.
No, I don't think so.
They won't be provided by Otafest. If
there happens to be dogs in costumes, I don't think we're going to mind.
No, I won't mind.
Exactly.
We're providing the Wi-Fi, though.
Exactly.
We really are. Anyways, in the meantime, buy your weekend passes online for Otafest 2019. There's not much time left. Do it for your ancestors. Bring honor to your family. They would have wanted it this way.
It's true.
Don't dishonor your family. Don't dishonor your cow. Don't dishonor... I don't remember how that goes.
No, me neither.
Okay.
You know what? Let's hit up the Cowboy Bebop thing. Cause,
sure.
Lots of... so if you're not aware...
You've been under a rock for the last 48 hours,
and not aware of Cowboy Bebop as a series as a whole for the last 20 years. It's the 20th anniversary, so there's a lot of Cowboy Bebop stuff. We have Cowboy Bebop guests. Calgary Expo has Bebop guests for the voice actors and everything like that. And Netflix also has a Cowboy Bebop live action coming out.
Yeah, and it's very interesting in terms of the casting choices.
Mm-hmm. I guess we should run through the casting choices first before we talk about it too much.
Sure.
I thought it was pretty cool casting overall. I don't know what one of the actors has done yet, but anyways, John Cho is going to be Spike Spiegel.
Now the thing is, though, I don't think I saw an official press release from Netflix saying that these were the character names. For all we know, this could be set in the Cowboy Bebop universe, but not actually be Cowboy Bebop.
No,
like a remake of the series.
I'm pretty sure I've seen
an
actual release. I didn't pull this.
Okay, well, the thing is, all I saw was John Cho was starring, and people just assumed it was going to be Spike. So I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm interested. I'm not gonna put him down. I'm just very interested.
Yeah. Have you watched?
No, I've never seen this show.
You've never seen it?
Really?
I've heard good things, but I've never seen it.
Dude, it's a classic.
It's old school, but it's honestly, it's just a fun, series. With it's got exploration into it, themes into it. It's kind of got
it's very artistic.
Yeah, it's got a lot of art into it. The opening sequence. Even if you've never watched the show, I think a lot of people know it. With the song
I've seen that.
And things like that. And it gives you a really good idea of what the art direction is for that show.
Right. Anyways, we got John Cho as Spike.
We have Mustafa Shakir as Jet Black and Daniela Pineda as Faye Valentine. Apologies if I've mispronounced any names.
They're not going to hear this.
Yeah, but just in case. I know it's not even that. I just don't want to mispronounce names,
Right.
I don't know who Danielle Pineda is. I know who Mustafa Shakir is.
Yeah.
He has done a few things. I want to pull it up just to point out a couple of things.
You know what though? I'm actually kind of happy about this. If you really sit down and think about this, because this was supposed to be Keanu Reeves a long time ago.
Oh,
because
yeah, that's
he
right.
had pitched the project to Warner Brothers and they rejected it. And now he's probably too busy with John Wick and with Bill and Ted to be able to do Cowboy Bebop. So John Cho giving another actor a shot would be kind of cool. So.
Keanu Reeves would have been a good Spike.
He would have been like the perfect Spike, I think, if we're doing like a straight adaptation of the TV series.
Like a very media to other media kind of transliteration of it.
Exactly. I mean, if you really get down to it, like John Wick with like you take out like a bit of the arrogance, John Wick is basically Spike.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you really think about it. So
it's true. But yeah, like Mustafa Shakir he was in Luke Cage, or he is Luke Cage, or no, that's not true.
I don't think he is
in Luke Cage, but he's the Bushmaster. And that was in season 2. He's all over TV. I don't think he has a lot of movie credits.
Kind of makes sense though. This is a series.
Yeah, so he's kind of like, I think. Well, when you think about these things, like there could be like a movie. Like there could be like a you know what, when they do like a series wrap up type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can translate. They can always translate to that, because I don't think Bebop ever did anything like that, did they?
Like they did have a movie, but they didn't have anything live action. There was a movie though.
And then you have, let's see, the one character or the only actress that I don't know here is Danielle Pineda, and I've never actually heard her name before.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could have looked up before, but just trying to see what she's been in that's kind of related to the genre. Hopefully,
it's kind of interesting that they waited till the 20th anniversary to actually just come out with this news, because this can go either way. This could either be really awful, like
for sure,
Netflix Death Note, or
I don't know what you mean. That was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you sit through the whole thing?
Yes, I loved it. I thought it was a really interesting take on it. It was very different.
Yeah, true
to
enough.
be clear, I thought it was bad, but I thought it was an interesting take on those characters in that scene. Scenario, sorry.
Hold on, I gotta make sure I know who this character is, but did either of you watch Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom?
I didn't watch Fallen Kingdom. No.
Oh, she's in it. Anyways.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's a fun character in it. She's kind of got like this sassy nerd girl character in it.
Interesting.
Cool.
Well, we're going to see how Faye works out. She's got a lot of depth as a character, but like she really needs to have that like
edge.
Sex appeal, right? Because that's what Faye is, right? She's like a throwback to the old like femme fatales of like of noir and stuff, right? So
she's also been in the Vampire Diaries, and she's been in some College Humor stuff, so maybe more people.
College Humor, interesting.
No. I know that's a weird credit to pull up, but I mean, I think a lot of people watch that, right? Like,
they do.
Instead of following a specific series, you might watch a College Humor short, and then you'd be like, you can click.
Actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, I do sometimes like I'll see people on random TV shows, and I'll be like,
where have I seen them before?
That person's off of College Humor or
there
something.
You go.
Yeah,
right?
True enough.
So there's a few more connections there, which is interesting.
But yeah, no, everyone's up in arms about John Cho as Spike and stuff. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting.
If he can pull off the part, I don't care.
Yeah. It's kind of, but we're now getting to the whole thing because we a while back I was talking about Scarlett Johansson being Motoko from Ghost in the Shell and stuff.
I feel really bad because like I remember what I remember saying was that Scarlett Johansson is a good actor, and you're putting her essentially in the character of like a husk of a human being.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You're not like it's like all that skill, and you're basically trying to what's the girl from Twilight?
Bella?
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah,
no, apparently Kristen Stewart can act. It's just that Bella is an awful character.
Exactly, right? But she still got that same that really just like dead stone face
kind of dead inside thing. Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, no, so it's kind of interesting because like this is a Japanese work where that person's not meant to be Japanese, right? Or Asian. They're meant to be a Jewish character, right? But then they cast
goddamn immigrants taking our jobs.
No, like the thing is, if you think about male Asian actors, who else are you going to get but John Cho? Really,
the Korean, other Korean, sorry, because John Cho's also Korean.
Walking Dead guy,
the comedian Dr. Boy,
the
Ken Jeong.
That's it.
I'm just trying to think of Ken Jeong as Spike Spiegel.
Because Jackie Chan's basically retired. First of all.
So. The guy who plays Han in Fast and Furious.
I don't know. I don't know who that is. No, but it's
I don't know who he is either.
No, but
sorry, Ip Man. Why are we so bad with names?
I don't know, because
everyone, you know who Ip Man is.
Because you can probably tell me who their Chinese name, right, in Cantonese, right? Because like a lot of these people, like a lot of these older Asian actors are, you know, veterans of the Hong Kong movie industry and stuff. Donnie Yen. Holy crap! I forget Donnie Yen.
Yeah, I had to Google that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, man.
But anyways,
it's been a long week.
Yeah, no, it seems to me though. Someone pulled up like some references. Because the original creator of Cowboy Bebop, Shinichiro Watanabe, he had based Spike off of an old school 1960s Japanese actor who was pretty famous just in Japan.
Weird.
So it's I don't know.
Full circle.
Yeah, it's come full circle. Yeah.
Not Japanese, but that's not the point.
No, but I mean, like my point is that it has has come full circle, right?
Kind
of
but cultural kind of synchronicity.
Yeah, but I just think the casting is just going to subvert our expectations, right? Hopefully. So I think that's cool. Yeah,
if it's good, it's good. That's all it really comes down to. Like, I don't care that much about race swapping. Like,
no, you should. I care about, no one should care. Like, in you know what I mean? Like
I care about representation in the sense that, like, for example, if it's like Mulan, maybe you should have an Asian actress because it's not a false. It's not a fictional character,
right?
It's a historical figure. But if you've got like Spike Spiegel, like, dude,
it's a sci-fi universe. It's a sci-fi universe. It's an adaptation of a cartoon. Anyways, speaking of Netflix, I don't know if you guys have seen it or not. I just saw this like on the way over. The trailer for the Rila Kuma cartoon came out.
No.
But how's Rila Kuma?
I mean, it's going to be
Rila Kuma.
No, Rila Kuma. He's the chubby brown beard. You know all the cute crap.
I've probably seen it. I just don't know by name.
It's the brown. It's the cute Japanese brown bear. It's like relaxing all the time and it's sleeping all the time. No.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. Well, anyways,
you know who he is.
Probably.
It's just interesting because Netflix is coming out with all these.
I've seen this thing. Yeah.
There's going to be a Netflix series of it.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, but it's.
Is it like a Gretzko?
Yeah, actually,
like
it is
stylistically, artistically,
writing wise. Apparently,
right?
No, because it's like Rila Kuma and his friends are like roommates of this Japanese woman who's like overworked and overstressed and all that, right?
Sure.
So like it's kind of addressing the whole like Japanese office culture stuff again. Right, but it's the style's way more like claymation, like almost. Yeah.
Hey, if it's cool, it's cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. So
should be like, I don't know if I'll watch.
Is it that long episodes or like shorts?
Probably shorts.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'll probably watch
like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, Agretsuko is great. So Netflix has had a pretty good record of adapting Japanese characters to their original series. I think because Agretsuko is great.
I wonder where they're getting the work done out of, like where the
they're probably funding studios in Japan, I think.
Korea,
yeah, because like I know Agretsuko was animated in Japan. Sanrio oversaw it, yeah.
But Sanrio would do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's important to know that Rila Kuma is not a Sanrio property.
No.
So just knowing that, like them licensing around that, then you have a different studio which may not have the money to really push their or brand standards like that. I don't know. Small things like that. It's interesting because you'll see differences in quality, you'll see differences in style and stuff like that from different studios, of course.
Okay. Well, anyways, you guys haven't seen it, so let's move on.
But yeah, a trailer that we did see though just recently. Very recently,
literally right before this podcast.
I am technically correct, the best kind of correct. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker trailer.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I thought Looked neat.
It looked neat.
That's all you got. That's all you got to say about it.
Rob's hype. This is Rob's like. This is his 5 out of 7. Looks neat. Here's Rob's 5 out of 7.
Look, nothing about the trailer made me think, "Fuck yeah, I got to see that tomorrow." But it didn't look bad.
I mean,
I'm also very much still wishing for something good enough to match up to Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, yeah.
So on that note, my first 2 thoughts are: it's obviously based on that Joker philosophy of like one bad day, like it kind of turns you insane. Like you have an okay life, or maybe
it's not just one bad day, according to this trailer, though.
No, it looks like a serious bad day.
Yes,
but there's that, and then number 2 is I don't think this trailer or this movie exists without Heath Ledger.
Yeah, that's true. I would say so too, because
it's obviously not the same universe, and it's not the same idea, like it's not the exact same character, but there is so many influences from that portrayal that it's impossible.
Not just that portrayal, though. I would
not.
Say,
I mean, that laugh was pretty good. Hey,
it was great. That was like whoa. Yeah,
that's almost there.
Well, he was like in the scene from the movie. He was practicing the laugh, though, right? Yeah. So, no, it's interesting because most like up until Heath Ledger, all of these live action portrayals of the Joker were kind of just like
I fell into a chemical van.
Yeah, or it was like it's very comic booky, right? But like the comics, you know, they do all these like character studies of this psychotic character, right? I mean, like this looks like Killing Joke. If you read Killing Joke, right? It kind of looks like that. So, I would say you're right in terms that Heath Ledger legitimized like a serious portrayal of the Joker and like an analysis of the character.
Just like, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Okay, Jack Nicholson's Joker is not like the worst for the movie or anything.
Every
like that.
90s kid loves that portrayal, but I just I could not connect with it.
If you like isolate it amongst like the other Jokers, such as even Mark Hamill's Joker, right? Like a cartoon Joker versus like that live action portrayal, you're like, boy, why did they go this one?
I'm gonna straight up say like I don't like the Tim Burton Batman movies. I felt like Tim Burton has a fundamental misunderstanding of the character, but
we'll agree to disagree on at least one of those movies. Then.
Okay, sure, yeah. But like anyway. Returns is okay. The original Batman sucks. Yeah. I think Forever and Batman and Robin don't exist. We don't talk about them.
But those aren't Tim Burton ones.
No, they're not. They're Joel Schumacher.
Yes. There's no obvious existence of Batman.
Yeah, it's like,
which is important.
If Batman shows up, like it should just be Bruce Wayne, and like there's speculation that the kid in the trailer is actually a young Bruce.
Oh, are they gonna go for the whole Joe Chill idea?
Maybe, yeah, but like I don't want him to be the guy.
Do you know that?
Joe Chill's the guy who murdered Bruce Wayne's parents.
But there's also the theory that like Joe Chill is Joker, but like pre-Joker.
Yeah,
he kills the parents.
Really hope not.
Joker has like an innate relationship with Batman because of this very first interaction.
Yeah,
but they might not go that way. I don't know. But my question here is like, you saw the Joker, you see the characterization that Joaquin Phoenix kind of portrays here, but that pushes forward the idea is like, where's the antagonist? Is the idea that he's his own antagonist?
Yeah, that's the whole point of the Joker, right?
I get that, but I mean, like, is that going to be an enjoyable consumer level movie?
That's the thing that gets me excited about this, because this is a lot of people are going to go in expecting like a superhero origin movie.
Yeah, because it's one thing to have like Suicide Squad, where people may not have liked Suicide Squad, but it was still at least a consumer level movie where it wasn't like too too high concept, sort of with a character that people. The mass media generally knows well, and the general audience knows well. But you don't want to just be like, well, the Joker just went crazy, and that's it.
Yeah,
right. You don't want to be sitting there thinking that.
Do you guys think there's a franchise to be built here? Like, is there a part 2? Or
I really hope this is a one shot.
It's a one shot. I hope so.
If it's a one shot, there's a chance it's a 2 shot, and I might be okay with an idea with a 2 shot. And I want to put this forward.
DC's in a weird place right now. That's just it. Like, I mean, they can't really compete with big budget stuff like against Marvel, right? So
just say Marvel.
So they have to like dive in and like commit, right? So when you made Shazam, they just committed with like sort of like a Steven Spielberg-esque like comedy movie, right?
Bayfar saw Shazam and he said it was pretty good.
Yeah, like a
I think
hearing.
Lindsay said it was good too.
Yeah, so like I mean that's Shazam, right? And then like Aquaman's kind of meh, whatever.
Haven't seen it.
Wonder Woman was great, and
it was okay.
Wonder Woman was great because it kind of beat Captain Marvel to the market, right? So I mean, like that's
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like they have to like lean in one direction and commit to it, right? They can't just do like what Marvel does and carbon copy it because I think their characters fundamentally are different.
Well, their universes are fundamental.
Yeah, exactly, right. Like in terms of writing, in terms of seriousness and stuff, and all that. Yeah.
At this point, there's this whole like DC kind of fell into the real world idea of like how things are seemingly more despairing and dark, and like James Bond fell into that. Into that trench as well, because James Bond used to be a much more campy, a little bit more lighthearted. Like you know, like you have a lot of action, you got a lot of sex, I guess, appeal. But like now, the James Bond that at the very least Daniel Craig portrays is a very like
it's this dark. It's this darker and edgier. Yeah. Darker and edgier is kind of what they're going for, but you can go overboard with it, like with
absolutely
Batman v Superman, which is an awful movie. An awful movie.
I've never seen that movie, but today I just watched like the fight scene on YouTube, and I was just like, I can see where they're trying to go.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem fun.
You can't deliver a big plot twist, like a character developing plot twist into a movie like that. It's just, ugh.
I just don't want to watch Batman rip off a sink from a bathroom wall and start beating Superman with it. It doesn't seem very Batman.
No, that's totally Batman. What are you talking about?
To rip a bathroom sink off a wall?
Oh yeah, that's very Batman.
No, he would smash someone into it and then kind of like that's it. But you don't. But he doesn't just like take an object and start like he doesn't go like WWE and takes like a steel chair to his back and it's like, oh my god, he's dead, Jim.
It's kind of like Arkham. Like the games, right?
But that game is not a
the style of fighting is. Yeah, I mean, okay, but anyways, like but yeah, I hope it's a one shot. I hope he doesn't. I hope they're not going for like a DC extended universe, or even if they do, they can't be direct sequels to each other because they tried it with Suicide Squad, they tried it with Batman v Superman, they tried it with Justice League. All three of those movies were awful.
And like, I have some kind of hope for this movie, but a lot of people already know I don't love superhero movies. There's a lot, and I haven't watched most of them now at this point, which is great for me. Yeah. I'm okay with this Joker one because it's not technically a superhero, number one, and number two, it's really a development of this character, which is a little bit more than just like your standard good guy meets bad guy and defeats bad guy.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah. But I guess that means we can talk about the third thing.
Before we do that, though, we should probably thank our corporate sponsors.
You're absolutely correct. We'd like to thank Chinook Crafts for sponsoring our episode and Otafest in general for, I believe, the last 5 years.
5 years?
5 years. They've done some things before they were even sponsors of us.
Yeah, I think they did the badges before they even officially sponsored.
They honestly put in a lot more work than I knew.
They've helped us cook up some stuff for this year that I think people going to the Maid Cafe are really going to enjoy. That's all I'm going to say.
But here is Chinook Crafts.
Chinook Crafts has been an Otafest exhibitor since 2011 and has been supporting Otafest events for the last 5 years. This year, Chinook Crafts continues their support of the Otafest Pokemon League with amazing gym badges and with limited edition pins for patrons of the Maid and Butler Cafe. They'll have an exclusive Otafest 2019 necklace available at their booth in the exhibitor hall. Don't forget to also take a look at their amazing selection of handmade props, pins, and other one-of-a-kind laser cut and resin cast crafts.
Thanks again to Chinook Crafts for all your hard work and your continued support of our convention, our event, and our patrons.
Shop local.
Yep, they do amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Have you bought anything ever from their...
I don't think I've actually gotten anything. I've looked at it. I really appreciate their work. Right. It was more like, I don't know what I would do with this. I mean, that's bullshit coming from me. If you've seen my room, I have a ton of garbage. But I couldn't get it at this time for some reason.
Yeah. I mean...
I've bought like Destiny charms from them. If any sort of like kind of more obscure fandom, like they'll do something for you.
Yes,
like I would almost say that too.
And also like popular stuff. Like, I think they have like, I've seen Dragon Balls, not like balls, but like what do you want to call them, Alfred?
Spheres.
You want to
Pins?
laugh?
Spheres.
That's not what they're called, Alfred.
Dragon Ball
The
pins.
series is
They
called-
made Dragon Ball pins. Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know if they're like
Charms,
discs.
pins,
They're like discs.
coasters.
They come in. They come in a casing and everything. So
It's just like a
one-
display piece, right? Like they're not necessarily pins.
Yeah, they're display piece. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I mean.
Are they
that's why
flat,
I'm
though?
calling them
Yeah.
discs.
Are they flat though?
Yeah.
So are they coasters?
You could use them.
Anything's
as
a
coasters.
coaster.
Anything can be a coaster.
Yeah.
Remember old
Anything-
Do
anything could be
you remember when we used to burn CDs, and every time you failed to burn, you would get a new coaster?
I sure would. Or another
man.
thing to like shoot at with a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
What was another? Oh, my favorite stuff that they've gotten is like they had like the Digimon Digivices.
Yeah, those
that
are
one
cool.
was so
Yeah, yeah.
cool.
Neat.
But it also made me a little sad seeing like Digivices in the real world because they don't look nearly as cool. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Dude,
in the sense that like
no.
they look clunky. Like you look at the actual original design and you're like, the nostalgia says they're cool, but the actual design says they're old and clunky '90s design.
Nah, man,
Yep.
dude, those Digivice Tamagotchis,
I had the second generation of those ones.
yeah, I did too. But like, I always felt the original season 1 Digivice was the coolest looking
squarish
one,
ones?
the squarish ones, right? Because
Because yeah, I had the one that was like a teardrop shape almost. Or
yeah,
reverse
that
teardrop
looks
shape.
really like. Oh my god, that looks like there's this one '90s toy that I had. It was like you would record your voice into it, and you would press a button, and it would like mutate your voice.
Yes, I remember it was
Yeah, yeah.
purple.
Yes, yeah,
It was purple and
like
yellow.
when those Digivices came out, I thought it was like yak backs. That's what they were called.
That's what it is.
Yak backs. I
Oh,
thought they were
God.
yak backs.
We could talk
And it was-
forever about
Oh,
nostalgia
man.
on like old toys, man. Forever. We might even continue on, but anyways, it'll get really bad. Anyway, thanks again, Chinook Crafts, for bringing on the memories, man.
Yeah.
that's a big part, right? So last big bit of movie, I guess
Yeah.
we'll talk about is
Obviously.
did you get your tickets?
I did not.
Wow,
'Cause I don't care.
Avengers Endgame.
Super easily.
Yeah.
I got them at like as soon as they opened. I got the first seats in the showing for the one I
Yeah.
wanted.
Who are you going with?
Jen,
Okay.
Yeah,
Are you seeing it
yeah.
here or Edmonton?
Edmonton.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, I was going for Saturday, not opening night or
Mm-hmm.
like the midnight release, but it was wide open.
So that's the thing. I read a bit of an article that said like resellers are selling some first showing opening night tickets
Mm-hmm.
for like 10 grand
Yeah, fuck scalpers.
Why?
because that's
Oh
a
my
capitalist economy. Man.
Yeah, it's,
No,
why.
no, that's a bullshit thing. Capitalism is good. This is fucking trash.
this is
an example
No,
of
man, this is
capitalism.
independent entrepreneurship. What are you talking about? Okay,
Yeah.
anyways, but
Turn an $18 ticket into to 10 grand.
I just it's exploitive and all that. But like, I'm just trying to figure out why someone would pay 10 grand. Like, no one's that big of a fan of anything unless like, and they don't have that much disposable income, right? Unless
And
someone's
it's just like, how much value is there really? Like, because
like, yeah.
if you think about it, it's you may be the first part of like the first audience to see it,
Mm-hmm.
but you know that there's been pre-screenings and special shows before you that have seen it.
Yeah.
Unless you literally worked on the film,
Mm-hmm.
you are not the first person to see this film.
That
It
could
doesn't-
be,
there's very little actual value if you want to break it down.
It almost feels like there could be like a celebrity appearance for a ticket like that, like $10,000.
Look, I'm saying
Like,
that
shake
Thanos
hands
is
with-
giving me a personal high five with the Infinity Gauntlet. If I'm paying
If
10
Ant Man
grand.
doesn't finish him first.
I mean,
Yo, those Ant-Man memes.
Oh
have
my
you seen
God.
them?
no. Which ones? Oh wait, do you mean
Ant-Man?
how he's gonna kill Thanos?
Thanos.
Oh yeah. I've seen those. Those are good.
Can we mention it?
Yeah, we can mention
Let's
it.
do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
If you somehow you don't really follow that much pop culture, but you still want to see Avengers, you should know that the Ant-Man is going to be in this movie. He's going to be one of the ones that didn't pass away to the snap. And the best fan theory I've ever seen for anything popular is that Ant-Man is going to be the one to kill Thanos by shrinking, crawling up Thanos' ass, and then expanding. And someone
Pretty
said-
viable, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like it's real. It's the real shit we're talking about.
I think the greatest one was that there was, oh my god, there was a plan to defeat Thanos Venn diagram where it was both sides were just purple and there was nothing in either side, just in the middle. Just Ant-Man in the middle.
That's good. Oh,
The greatest thing.
that's so good.
Even the Russo brothers, the two guys who are directing the movie, they even changed their Twitter like profile picture to like one of those memes.
Yeah, I
was,
bet.
like everyone's getting on it. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Whoever came up with that first, kudos to you.
Yeah.
In
But yeah,
respect
like
to the actual tickets being sold at 10 grand, are they being purchased at 10 grand or just sold?
Probably.
Lots of stuff gets
it's just
scalped,
people
and no one
reselling.
buys
People
it.
reselling,
Yeah.
So
I'm sure that someone has bought a more expensive ticket. I'm guessing that somebody might have bought like $100 or $200 or $300 ticket.
Yeah.
I'm not. I just wouldn't be surprised. Like,
yeah, totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about a 10 grand ticket, I highly doubt that.
No.
To be honest, unless you somehow could like, I don't think you can tell that much off a serial number, for example. But if you could like get an idea that like this ticket was like 001 printed for this, then maybe it would have some value. But I doubt that still.
It's just it's kind of crazy that it's this month though. Like that hasn't really dawned on me that it's coming out this month.
It's kind of true.
Yeah.
I'm
Like, I mean,
excited
so-
for it. So
Yeah,
I'm here.
like I said, I'm happy because I want to see the end of this, whatever this might be, and I can just be free from superhero movies
Yeah,
for
I
a while.
wanna
I'm
see-
not saying they're not going to stop coming out. I'm just
Oh
saying,
no,
like,
they won't.
Yeah,
I just want
But-
to see whose contracts are ending. It's basically it's like, yeah.
Yeah, you're just upset because the pre-sale broke Star Wars records.
I don't even care. What?
I don't care. How dare you say I care? I don't care at all.
I just like I know for a fact that episode 9 is not going to break any records for pre-sale because everyone's still so angry from Last Jedi. Seemingly,
Star Wars nerds are super angry.
they're Star Wars nerds are.
I feel alone in that camp. I really like that movie.
I like it too. Last Jedi was good, and but I mean, you know, you mentioned it.
interesting.
You mentioned there's certain Star Wars fans, and they get frothing at the mouth.
Yeah, but I mean,
angry
it's the same thing
about
for like prequels. It's the same thing for
Yeah, okay.
you know, a whole bunch of stuff. Jar Jar Binks.
that. Oh, and speaking of Star Wars, though, next Friday will be Star Wars Celebration, and we've heard
What does that mean?
Star Wars Celebration is the official convention of Star Wars. I think it's being
where's
held in L.A., I believe.
I wouldn't, yeah, like LA or Anaheim. Well, it could be because Disney.
Yes, exactly. But
Could be Anaheim.
we could get a trailer next Friday, is
Yeah.
what they're saying. There is an episode 9 panel. Last couple of times they revealed the trailer during the panel, and apparently the guest list for this panel is in the double digits. So meaning the entire cast will be there.
There's no release date yet, is there?
No. We're probably going to get ahead of this panel. And apparently demand is so high, and they don't want people camping out. Because like when Force Awakens came out, people were camping out for like 4 days outside the
So are they trying to mitigate this?
lottery system.
Pure lotteries.
Pure lottery. So,
I want to bring up something on that note.
yeah.
That's how Japan does it.
Yeah, for conventions, yeah.
Conventions and a lot of like large scale events. It's a unless you're invited, it's a full on lottery system. So big concerts, big
Concerts
media events
are
and
its
stuff
own
like
scam of buy a product to get a chance for a lottery to buy the ticket.
that. You might know this.
I do know this.
Did you try? Did you try when you were in Japan?
I helped Jen buy some stuff to get a shot at getting into the concert.
And
She didn't and got a scalp ticket instead.
Which concert was this?
I was I7.
that's kind of a big
That
word, right?
Reeb voice actor thing. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
But yeah, I don't necessarily think it's a bad system. I mean, we talked about it.
For this, in this instance, I would say it's probably a good idea.
It's probably valid,
Because
yeah.
if you have a convention about Star Wars, every single person attending that convention is going to want to go to that one panel, right?
Yeah.
And even with overflow, you're only going to have so many panel rooms that people can go into and watch.
Absolutely.
Right? So
I wonder if there is overflow.
there was. I think the last couple of panels, I think they took up the largest halls.
Yeah.
They don't stream the panel, I'm assuming?
Later they do.
Okay.
But and I don't think there's enough.
Streaming. Let's call it recording.
Yeah.
Well, just because if they
Yeah, I don't
sold
think
like
they-
a pay-per-view, people would buy that.
Yeah, they would if
Yeah.
you bought like what, like a. Yeah,
Actually, I think they did do that. I think for Last Jedi when that came out, right? Like you could buy a virtual ticket to
So like BlizzCon?
kind of like BlizzCon, yeah.
Oh.
Which I think is great personally, but
Do you remember what the value of that was? The sale price for anything like that? I'm
I
just
don't know.
curious
I don't know.
because you're just
BlizzCon's
viewing. You obviously don't. You can't
70 or 80
Yeah.
What?
I think. I could
Yeah,
be
but
wrong.
that's every single
You
panel.
get full
though.
access to every event. For the
Maybe,
con.
but
But then
to me,
again,
that's-
Disney doesn't need to make any more money off of like
Anything.
convention goers. Yeah, so like, yeah, I don't know. But there was a way to watch it. I remember last time this happened.
Well, yeah, I was thinking less money, more like, look, you can't get in physically, but watch it here,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Could you just imagine that convention though? Like right when like 1 o'clock or whatever that panel's supposed to be, like everyone just drops what they're doing, and pulls out their phone, and like or like crowds around a
Yeah.
screen in like the main vendors
absolutely.
hall or something. Like I think Celebration is one convention that I'm going to put on my bucket list. I need to go to Celebration at one point.
Pay your respect.
Gotta pay my respects.
Press F to pay your respects.
Yeah, no, I gotta get my my posters all signed. I've got.
Is that like what's like the merchandise that you collect? Like you're the number one merchandise
for Star Wars.
Yeah, for Star Wars.
The thing I prize the most is a Empire Strikes Back poster signed by Carrie Fisher.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's also signed by Billy D. Williams. Billy
I will
D.
probably was Calgary Expo.
Yeah,
right?
I will probably. Edmonton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will probably never get Harrison Ford, but I want to get Mark Hamill at some point one day. So.
Why do you think you won't get Harrison Ford?
Because
he doesn't do the circuit.
I don't think he does. No,
I think you're right though.
He's the one famous person, right?
You're not wrong.
I'm not.
He's
the one actor from those movies whose career actually survived the 70s.
Well, he also had multiple franchises.
Yeah, like Indiana Jones helped him, but yeah.
So, no, that's totally fair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could ever see the same. I have nothing that I own that I would want signed or acknowledged by someone who was famous.
Well, I mean, you don't really collect anything either, do you?
I have a bundle of garbage.
Well, the things you do collect, though, like, do you have any sort of like celebrity attachment to it? Like, I don't know, Rob, do you have anything? Or
I like collecting lots of cute and adorable and pointless plastic, all sorts of fun stuff. Some might call it a figure.
But is there anything?
But no.
Some might call it a figure.
But no, I don't care about signatures. It's the one thing about Calgary Expo. I'm like, well, you're sending in a line for an autograph. Like, that's cool. Happy for you. I don't get it.
I've gotten autographs for other people.
I was there.
I was a mule for many for like 3 years. I had gotten like the total equivalent of like 20 different autographs, just being like the guy who stood in lines, and I had like sometimes I'd have a VIP pass so to make it quicker.
That's so good of you. That's so kind-hearted of you.
So kind-hearted. I really just, dude, like, you know, I shake the guy's hand and I'll be like, can you make this out to like Bob? Like, I was just like, man, this is just a transaction. I'm sure you're a cool guy, but it's not like we're gonna get to ever sit down and talk, so it doesn't really make a whole difference.
I don't know. I haven't been heavily involved in many fandoms lately, so I just don't have much to like, or a lot of people really to like want to go meet. That being said, though, Calgary Expo, David Hayter definitely getting to sign my Metal Gear Solid collection.
Oh, he'll be there. That's neat.
Yeah, he will be.
Someone, Rainn Wilson, I think he canceled.
Yeah, he did. Unfortunately,
yeah. Like, I'm not even he's cool. I think he's good at what he does in the industry in general, because he's not just an actor or anything like that. I sort of watched The Office a little bit, but it would have been cool just to see him around.
Dude, I knew people who were very disappointed. Like, they're obsessed with The Office. Like, I've known people who like have rewatched it like 3 times.
Who's their headline guest?
Good question. I should know this. I don't, but
I'll look it up. You know, people might think it's weird that we might not know, but it's kind of like you have to be into it to know. Like, you have to be into who's there to know. Yeah, in a sense, right?
You know, just because I work for Otafest doesn't mean I am, you know,
like, I think there's
deeply tied to everything.
People whose panel I'd be interested in. I'd like to hear them talk and maybe answer questions or something like that. Like, Kojima would be the number one pick.
But
I have no interest in meeting someone who is paid to talk to you for 10 seconds.
For sure.
And leave.
Michael J. Fox would be interesting. He's there.
Oh, yeah.
Linda Carter's here. Christopher Lloyd. That would be an interesting
Christopher Lloyd, yeah. Right? Linda Carter, that's...
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Right? My mom would be excited about that, actually. She used to watch that series.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Truly, genetically, you had no chance.
Nope.
You were always going to be a nerd. Zachary Levi, so Shazam.
Man, that's like an untapped. No, well, I wouldn't say untapped now. Like, because I'm starting to see a ton of families at Expo, and it's been like that for a few years now, I guess. But I don't know. It's just people who like didn't know they wanted to go to a show like that. Because my mom's also like super into the X-Files. She would have been.
Okay, I changed my mind. There's one.
Who?
Peter Weller is going to be there.
Peter Weller? RoboCop, yeah.
The original RoboCop.
Yeah.
That's actually a big deal for me because RoboCop... Okay, if you know anything about that movie, super violent, not a kid's movie.
No.
My favorite movie as a child. My parents let me watch it. I don't know why.
It was
because
just
they were
goofy.
working hard full time.
It's a goofy movie though. It's like violent and gory,
Yeah,
but
and
it's
it's got
goofy.
like this whole like Jesus like kind of storyline to it where he kind of comes back from the dead and is like the savior of Detroit City.
I should know the director's name, but I don't. He also did Total Recall and he did Starship Troopers.
He's a good director.
Yep,
I
active
don't
in the
remember his
80s
name
and
right
90s, but not anymore. But yeah,
No, he does like sort of indie-ish films right now over in like Scandinavia.
yeah, it makes
from what
sense
I
though.
understand.
Well, I mean, his movies weren't exactly subtle. And like people really don't like satire nowadays, and if they do, then it needs to be very subtle.
Not gonna
kind of
lie,
satire.
if I could get a Peter Weller autograph on a RoboCop
Print?
action figure,
Ooh,
I would be,
yeah.
because I used to have an action figure. I
Ooh,
used to
okay,
have
yeah.
one where you press the center button and he would say his lines, and you could pop open his
leg.
thigh, and then you could get him to pull the gun. It was
Cool.
pretty cool. So
Yeah.
that is like one of the very few things, because I'm very dialed in on super small specific things,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to like this huge franchise that is like Avengers or Batman
Yeah.
or whatever, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, fandom takes any form, right? So yeah,
Sure does, furries. Not that we don't appreciate you.
No,
You're still
please
part
come to
of
Otafest.
You're still part of the community. I just have no particular involvement with any
No.
of that culture.
Just yeah. I'm not going to say anything about it.
Perfect. I think we have our second
Yes, we do.
ad.
Yep.
So we'd like to thank the Camera Store,
The camera store.
another great local company, for sponsoring our episode, our convention, and our general camera and videographer community. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
The Camera Store supports Otafest and the creators that capture photos and videos of the festival. We encourage you to shop local the next time you are thinking of taking your cosplay photography to the next level. To experience their knowledge, expertise, and passion for photography, head over to the Camera Store located on 11th Avenue Southwest in the downtown Beltline. Follow them on social media or shop online with free delivery for anything over $100 at thecamerastore.com.
Thank you again to the Camera Store for everything that you do. They'll be running a couple of panels here at Otafest for us.
Oh,
They'll be
that's a first.
They'll be running the photo booth in the exhibitors hall as well, I believe. So again, if anything, if you have questions about just the equipment or how to use it, they're there for you, man. Like you go to some of their events, right?
Yeah, they host a monthly meetup called Beers and Cameras. Obviously, you need to be 18 and over to attend. But
There's a coffee and cameras.
there's a coffee and cameras, so if you're not of age,
or you just want coffee.
or you just want coffee instead of beer, you can go to that. Yeah, but just through the Camera Store and through their like community that they built up, I've gotten to know a lot of local photographers, which I'm very grateful for. It's like I guess that's my fandom now, is like the photography community.
I mean, it's been your
guess.
fandom for a few years now.
Yeah, a few years now at this point. Like, I mean, like I stopped watching anime about the time I started doing photography. Now I think about it, so yeah.
Fair enough. I don't do a lot with cameras, but I've stepped foot into the Camera Store more than a handful of times, and it's a cool place. I like what they do.
It's like I get kid in a candy store basically when I'm in there. Yeah, it's
If you had any amount of money,
uh-huh.
what would be your like dream rig?
My dream rig?
Yeah.
Probably. Oh my god, this sounds so nerdy.
Go ahead.
Probably a Leica M2 with black paints and a Summicron 35mm f2.
Have no idea what most of those things were.
It's a film. It's a film camera. Really cool lenses. Really expensive. But if I had any amount of money, that's what I would be. That's what I would.
Who makes the
Leica?
lenses?
Leica.
Oh, okay.
So they're a German brand. They're kind of like the
They're an
photography
old brand.
They're an old German brand. They're the photography snobs brand. Nowadays they mostly make like luxury merchandise. I guess they're like Rolex nowadays. But their old stuff was like, all the photojournalists use them. If you're into shooting film, Leica is like the top next to like Hasselblad and those brands and stuff. So that's probably what I would get.
Cool. How much would that be?
Oh man, in good condition, you're looking at like $5,000 or $6,000 for that rig. Yeah.
So it sounds like if it was in like top condition, it would be like 8 to 10.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Easy.
Like those cameras go for quite a bit. Like I actually have the model of camera, just not my ideal model of it, because there's variations of every model and stuff, right?
Small things.
I have one. It was probably my most expensive film camera, but like I don't yeah, like I don't have that type of like aesthetic connection to it. You know, it's a tool for me. So, but yeah, if I were to splurge, I would go all out with that. So,
actually, on that note, and kind of similar, because I asked you about like Star Wars, you have like a prize thing. Do you have a prize thing, Rob? Like a collectible thing that you either own already? You can go 2 categories: one that you own, and then one that you'd love to have.
I don't have one that I own. There is a 2 sculptors called Plastic Cell. They make these one-off and limited run little models, about 3 inches tall, give or take.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry, 5 inches tall, give or take. So they've done like Conor McGregor. They've done Tupac. Bruce Lee.
That's
So they
kind of
do.
cool.
Is it
Yeah,
like a figure or like a bust or what's like the?
It's like
medium
it's like
specific?
sort of chibi in a sense that like it's not quite proper proportions.
so it's almost like a
Like the head's a little too big. Yeah, it's kind of like a caricature, but it's
Okay.
the full body.
Okay.
And the Connor that they made of that, I would love to get because I think they've made 3, and I highly doubt they'll do a full run of it.
Are you
Is
into
there a
like
reason-
super detailed face sculpts though? Sorry to
No, not really.
Okay.
I just like these guys in particular.
Oh, you like the style? Or
Yeah.
whatever.
I have a couple of their things, and they're releasing a Joe Rogan soon. Gonna get that.
Cool. What's the price for something like that?
So the 2 I have were about 190 USD. Joe's going to be
Shit.
about 280.
So these are like probably like
Yeah.
resin.
Yeah, so
cast
like
and-
like the Bruce, they only did 400, I think. Rory was about 250.
yeah.
Joe is only going to be 100.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, because I was about to mention Hot Toys. If you've heard those,
I know. I have a friend who's into that stuff. It's good quality.
yeah, no, those are the craziest face sculpts. I think most people who are into collecting anime figurines know of Hot Toys. I think so.
Although, like on the other hand, I'm more of a I can't remember the company right now, but it's like the one that has, like the Zelda the Zelda. I think it's Figma.
It's either Figma or Nendo's. Do you like Nendo's?
Like, do you just mean
it's
Good
not- I don't think
Smile
it's
as a
Nendo's.
whole?
It's the
or-
one with like, you know how there's Creepy Woody.
Oh yeah. Those
Yeah.
are Figmas. Yeah.
Yeah, those are Figmas, and I like those just because like I think they're fun. Yeah, like maybe it's like it would be something that where it wouldn't like it would probably sit on a shelf like 90% of the time, but I would probably take off the shelf 10% of the time just to rearrange them and just have fun with it a little bit
Yeah.
more. Because I'm not a huge like I don't want to keep things in boxes very much. I don't care about like pristineness. I want it to be enjoyable.
Totally.
So
You should get into models. Build some Gundams.
I have 2 Gundams right
Yeah,
over
there you go. Yeah,
And
you
I
have a couple
and
of
I have an
initial D cars,
I have an
yeah.
initial D vehicle there.
Yeah.
That's the Toyota Celica, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have done modeling. I can't keep up with it because there's very few things I want. Like one of the very few Gundam models that I've ever wanted was like one of the I think it was a perfect or maybe a master grade
boy.
level of a Wing Zero.
Oh, so the one with the huge box.
Yeah, it's a huge box.
That's
It's got,
the perfect grade,
It's
yeah.
got pearl wings and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's like it's amazing.
Yeah, perfect grade.
But I also know that like I'm not really that level.
No.
Like I would try. I would try, but I'd probably like be like, Alfred, I need help.
Well, no, you
Help
could.
me now.
I'm confident you could put it together. The
Just like in,
real
like, 50
beauty
years.
Yeah.
is like painting it
Yeah.
or doing something to it on top of that.
That's my
Just
problem.
the plastic is
Yeah.
like you could do that.
That's my problem with like I have someone bought like Sarah bought me a perfect grade for my birthday like years ago.
And that's like a
And
$300 buy,
Yeah.
right?
and I have not touched it because I just get like anxiety when I open the box, right? Because no, like seriously, you see all these runners and like all these parts. I'm just like, yeah, this will be fun to build, but it's going to take me hours and days to build. But then I have to paint this thing
Does
and
it
do
have
it
articulated
justice.
fingers and everything?
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember that being part of the Wing Zero
Yeah.
model, and I was just like, man, amazing to have. Like I'm at that point where I'm almost like, I'll buy a completed version.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because like, and it sounds stupid, and I was like, it's not that I don't find any value in building it, but I also understand like where I am,
Yeah.
and who I would have to be to have
Right.
fun,
And
with
even
that,
like
almost.
even for me, like I've done like a lot of Gundam models at this point, but it's like if I were to build a perfect grade, I would probably need to take a couple of days off from work
Right.
to do it.
like it's just
Because it requires focus. You need to sit down for hours at a time and be able to sand and paint and
yeah. This isn't just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll snap this piece here and then I'll do that.
oh god, yeah. It's like
not-
if you guys aren't into Gundam, like if you take a look at the high grades, which are like kind of like the baseline level kits, right?
Oh, yeah, it
And then you look at like the the perfect grades, it's
Perfect.
at least like it's an exponential increase in complexity. It's ridiculous.
Like I wish it could be as just like I don't wish it would be that simple, and I don't know where I really stand. Like I said, I would probably just want to buy the finished product, but I know that there's pride in creating it too. It's like I'm all over the place with that kind of thing, and that's why I'm not a good customer.
What you described, Jay, is why I never got into Warhammer. Because I think the game's cool.
With painting all the minis.
Not only buying, putting together, and then painting the figures, I'm like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, man.
And then if it does, it's not going to look good enough, and I'll just be sad.
Right, yeah.
And it's money wasted.
Yeah.
Well, that's why people commission people for stuff now, right? So
that's true too, but like again, there's that
there's that aspect of this is mine, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. It's the same thing for like on a very like minuscule comparison, maybe. Like not the right thing, but like when I play RPG games, man, I spend like hours creating the character. That's like I'm meticulous about it. I was like, I want the face to look this way. I want the eyes to be this wide. I want them to look like Admiral Akbar, maybe.
Yeah, well, the thing is though, you're probably thinking like Bethesda games, right? Because like those take hours to create characters because none of the presets look good.
It's true. But yeah, man, like I get where that pride comes from.
Yeah.
I also think it's total bullshit, and I can't commit myself to it.
Yeah,
so,
different strokes for different folks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Last little bit. I think we should talk about Borderlands 3 because that's been on everyone's minds lately.
Yeah, I mean, well, they came out with some cool like trailers and character designs.
That initial trailer was awesome.
Like the pre-trailer was super cool.
Yeah.
Seeing that female siren with like 6 arms, like Shiva, kind of like pow.
Brick sack solo.
Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah, it was legit. But Epic Games Store, that's the big thing right now. And I have mixed feelings because I don't like Epic Games Store as a platform, but I think
I have it. I use it.
I think people need to understand that it really sucks us to have a single platform for all your games. We have Steam, and some people use GOG, but it's like it kind of sucks for just one publisher to control everything about non-physical publication.
Here's the reason why it sucks for Borderlands fans who don't want to use Epic. I'm not saying that Epic is a good or bad launch platform. I'm saying that for anyone, like it's just a small thing. Like it's not actually a huge reason, especially because there's no data tie-in, like data carryover for like this story and these flags being set or whatever in save files. But you have Borderlands 1 and 2 on Steam.
Yeah,
I would just want it on Steam. Like I know it could be stupid sounding. Like I know it has no real consequence because like I said, I don't think there's any story carryover. There's not going to be flags set for like I killed this character or I found this item or whatever. So it doesn't matter. But it matters in the sense that like if you had the Lord of the Rings, like a signed copy or a signed series of all 3 books, right, or maybe The Hobbit as well. And then you just had 2 bookshelves, and you put 2 of them on one bookshelf and the other 2 on the other bookshelf. And it's like, you could say, it does not matter. But it matters.
Yeah.
It matters.
That's my analogy, and I totally understand.
Yeah, no, I get it too. It's just that I think a lot of people are trying to say that, hey, this is not good because this is clearly you're trying to screw over Valve. It's like, yeah, but why
it's good business is what it is.
Yeah, that's how capitalism works. You need to have different platforms, right?
You're allowed to have choices, and for the record, if you don't know, it's not like it's not going to be released on Steam. It's releasing 6 months later on Steam. It's not the end of the world. I just don't think it's a smart idea.
Really, all this is the same as the console scenario.
I mean,
it's just on PC, and PC people aren't used to that and are unhappy.
No, it's not that. I think it's because it's not the console versus PC thing for release dates. It's more like it could just be on Steam. It's not like there's no like developmental angle.
No, but it's the exact same thing as games on console in that if you pay X company, you now have an exclusivity for maybe a year or 6 months.
That's what you mean.
Yeah, like lots of games get ported to other platforms later.
But again, there's a separate idea because it's not like I have to.
You mean like technically it could be? You're totally
tangible,
correct.
Or there's not really a tangible difference, right? It's literally one software versus another software, where it's not about I have to have both $400 consoles in order to play one $80 software, right?
Yeah, totally legit. It's business. It's money. It's what it. That's what.
Yeah, but I mean, like
you don't have to like it though.
No, you don't. But I mean, complain at the right people, right? Like, don't complain to
at the devs,
about like their publishing decisions, right? Because like the money needs to come from somewhere. Games cost so much to develop nowadays, right? That you're going to take the deal that gives you the most money.
And not to mention all the the devs do not deserve that kind of negative.
No, they don't.
Because we're talking about guys who like all these people that put in like 70, 80 hour work weeks, especially near the end of the cycle.
Like, crunch is stupid and people keep doing it, right? And it's like,
we keep on supporting that. That's a behavior that we like more so than which platform is being released on for a temporary amount of time.
Like so much
something like that.
So much of the gaming community is like all up in arms about this. It's like, oh, like devs they should do it for the love of the craft and all this stuff. It's like, no, they're artists, yeah. But like, not every the guy coding the cloth physics is not going to care about the ethics of the decision of his publisher.
It's true. He has as much say as his boss saying, our company has an open door policy. You can come in and talk to about us at any time.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean it's going to change.
Yeah. Right. You can't take it out on.
Do you guys think Steam will change their cut at any point to try and keep more producers on?
No, I think Steam has different issues rather than like who is trying to get onto the platform and stuff. Like, I think their main issue is like community based, right? How do you manage like with that many people on a platform like that? How do you keep it civil and like keep people from exploiting the system, right? Because how many Steam quote unquote scandals have we seen with Workshop, with paid mods, with Greenlight, with review bombing, with like and like outright ban, like people trying to outright ban whole countries from Steam, right? Like, come on, right? With a platform that big, you're going to have issues. So why not diversify and have more than one platform, right? GOG was the right idea, right? But now you have other huge publishers like Epic. And
the problem I have with GOG almost, and it's maybe not a good complaint, but I wish they just stuck to their original line of product. Because they've dipped their toes into like larger, like they have Witcher. I have Witcher on GOG, not on Steam.
Yeah,
doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I kind of wish they just had
the company that makes Witcher
runs GOG. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
CD Projekt Red, dude.
That.
You can mention other AAAs. That's the one that makes sense.
But they could have also just done like the first Witcher.
Sure. But can't you get Witcher on Steam as well? I think you can, right? So there's no problem with that.
No, I just think that
I know what you're saying, Jay. Like, you wanted them to stick,
like thematically,
right? No, but it's just
I have a bunch of great old games. Like, I have a whole bunch of like the old Star Wars, like TIE Fighter and stuff.
Yeah,
Starfighter.
Yeah, and GOG is great for like old school archival purpose type stuff, right? Because Steam is awful for that. Yeah,
it's garbage.
Steam is like, Steam sometimes will literally take the original 1995 CD and put it onto the server, right? And then expect you to know how to get it running, right? Like, I think there's a huge thing with the original Quake on Steam. Mm-hmm. It's like a completely outdated build. It doesn't even have OpenGL support. You're stuck with software.
They have some bad ports, speaking of, because they have Chrono Trigger that they put on last year, and that was a good port.
Yeah, but like, half of that I have to blame the publisher, like the original developers sometimes, right? Like, I mean, that's publisher rather, right?
Yeah, you can't say, but why should they have to have the foresight of like 20 years of development, right? Like, that's impossible.
No. Sorry. Okay, I should rephrase that. Not the developer. I should say like the people who intend to put these old games onto Steam. They should have the responsibility of actually making sure stuff runs, right?
Or doing it properly.
Right?
Or having the right version.
Yeah, but like the thing is, it's
Chrono Triggers is the mobile version.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It's the mobile or the
right.
I think
the handheld version.
Yeah, I think the DS or something.
Yeah, exactly. So that's garbage.
So, but I mean, then again, though, like Valve doesn't have any sort of like quality control for that, right? There's nothing that says if you're allowed to put a game like that onto Steam, right? It means that they have no standards, right? No. Versus for GOG, if you want to put the game on there, it needs to run on modern systems, and you need to be patched up to be able to run on modern systems and stuff, right? So
but yeah, sorry, with the Borderlands 3 thing, like the Epic release is not the worst thing in the world.
No, it's not.
It's people are making a bigger deal,
and it makes perfect sense.
I still think it's weird, and I think it's, like I said, to me the Lord of the Rings thing is an apt analogy. Like, right. I'm not going to separate the series off of one bookcase if I don't have to.
I just think it makes perfect sense, right? Because it's like you have all these other platforms like Origin, you play
those are good.
BattleNet, and like unless you're with Activision, you can't really publish with BattleNet, right? Like Epic is all of a sudden they're starting to publish third-party games, and everyone and their mother has the Epic Games platform like on their computer due to Fortnite at some point, right? Like, why not, right? Like, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Do we have time to talk about Anthem?
No,
Really?
unfortunately not.
Okay.
I think we've beaten Anthem into the ground more than it needs to be beaten.
All we can say is like,
please go read that Jason Schreier article, by the way, on Kotaku.
Excellent
it's
read.
great. Yeah,
it is a very good read. It's in depth. It's a little. It also evokes the right emotion because I felt disappointed reading.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad article. I'm saying that the product was disappointing and it evoked the right feel in that.
It reminds me of the old stuff that Jeff Keighley used to write for GameSpot. Like, because Jeff Keighley used to write, like, he used to do a series called the Final 24 Hours of, or something, where he will document the final 24 hours of a game's development, right, including the good and the bad, right? He did a really famous one for, two really famous ones for the original Half-Life and Half-Life 2, and he did one for Halo 2. Yeah. So those are, if you're interested in, like, those older games, like, those are good reads as well. But, yeah.
Video game journalism, man. That's the thing. We never really touched on that, but...
Do we need to?
No, not really. It's difficult. Go read the article. Yeah. If you have any interest in it.
It's long though.
It's
be forewarned.
It's long, but it's a good look into the industry and sometimes how things can just really triple.
The more interesting thing has been developers and people working at developers messaging Jason saying it's the same thing at our company, and that sucks.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the whole point that this whole Borderlands thing kind of reveals, is that, like, I think gaming community has I wouldn't say no appreciation. It's like for the most part, people aren't aware of what goes on behind the scenes and how much exploitation of workers there is.
But then you could say that about almost any organization ever.
True enough.
Like, some of those things, I was like, there's parallels to what we do. There's parallels to other organizations in general.
True enough, but for gaming, right, this is a multi-million-dollar industry, and very little of it goes to the devs. It's all to the publishers, and yet people blame devs and management rather than publishers. Or, sorry, they blame devs instead of management and publishers, right?
Sure, because at the end of the day, someone controls the content and someone else is just paid to make it.
Exactly, right? So, like again, why would you blame the guy coding the cloth physics for the failure of a game, right? Because he was just coding cloth physics. He had a very minor...
That's all he could do.
Yeah.
Anyways, on that note, we thank you again for listening to our episode. This is number 71.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Getting
it's not 69,
closer.
But 71.
Getting closer.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'd like to thank again Camera Store and Chinook Crafts for your sponsorship.
Yep.
We hope you visit their booths and panels. They're great. Just hang out with them. They're good people in general, actually. And we will see you at Calgary Expo. We're going to have one more episode before Calgary Expo, but we're also going to be pretty busy right before that week comes up. So we'll get an episode out, but won't be talking about some things, I think.
Yep.
And we'll see Avengers and then talk about that, I guess.
Fuck yeah.
On that note, thank you so much. I'm Jay.
I'm Alfred. Bye.
This is Rob. Cheers.